So in your group totals, you have rice, birdseed, and beans are the three highest of your food sources. And so what you want to do with this information is you want to go ahead and look, and we'll look at the spoon. And so notice that for spoon, you have 18 for the rice, 11 for your birdseed, and 6 for your beans. So 18, 11, and 6. Now let's go back and let's look at the actual graph. And so when you look at the graph, you're going to come over to your key, and it doesn't really matter which order that you put it in as long as you are consistent and you know which ones that you have. I like to do it in the order of the chart so I don't confuse my numbers. So on the first one, I'm going to write in my rice, and then I'm going to write in my birdseed, and then I would write in my beans. Please do write out the full word. I just have a little trouble putting that here on the screen. Now, what you're going to do is remember that we had 18 rice, we had 11 birdseed, and we had 6 beans. And so what you're going to do is that you need a bar graph. You need a bar for each one of the food sources. So I'm going to come over to spoon, and I'm going to draw a bar for my 18, and then I'm going to draw a bar for my 11, not quite, and then my beans, which is about 6. And so yours would be a little more accurate because you'll have the paper and pencil, but I want to make sure that I either use the same key here on the side with the shadings, or I can go in and I can color code it. So if I was going to do the shadings, I would shade this one solid for the rice, and then if I was using the patterns, I would do that one as like a plaid pattern, and then I would put dots in here for this particular bar for the spoon. And so I'm going to go back and I'm going to do that for each one of my beak types, the fork, the plastic knife, and the clothespin. So each of them are going to have 3 bars. Now if we look at our next graph is plotting generations on the x-axis and number of offspring on the y-axis. And so I'm looking at information a little bit differently here. On this one, I have 4 things that should be in my key. Well, this particular key is actually for the types of beaks. And so you would have your spoon, you would have your fork, you would have the knife, and the clothespin. And again, please write those full words out when you do your graph. And so what I have to do is I have to actually go through and I have to look here to find this information. Now, this graph is going to be a line graph. When I'm looking at each of these 4 different beak types, each beak type is going to have its own separate line on the graph. And so I'm going to demonstrate by working the one for the spoon for you to show you the difference. Now, here on the key, they do use symbols or shadings for the particular lines. You can change that to symbols such as circles, squares, triangles, etc. Or you can use different colored pens or pencils and make your lines different colors and then color code them. Either way is fine as long as you have put a key together. So we need to go back and look at that offspring data. And so for our spoon, we have 1 in generation 1, 3 in generation 2, and 2 in generation 3. So we have 1, 3, and 2. So we're going to go back to our graph. And so in this part, so our spoon is this one. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to number 1, and I'm going to use a circle to kind of make things a little bit easier here. And so I'm going to draw a circle. So I had 1 offspring in generation 1. I had 3 in generation 2, and then I had 2 in generation 2. And then I'm going to come through and I'm going to connect my line. Now my next line may be different, and so I may use, it may be similar, it may go up and it may go down, and I might use a different color. My lines can even come in, they might, let's see, my line might actually start here, and it might go down and it might go up. My lines are going to cross, and that's okay. But you can see how using different colors is actually quite simple. But you will use different colors for either different colors or different symbols for your particular lines. Just make sure that whatever you're using in your graph matches the key that you're using over here. I hope this was helpful. Thank you.